once again with my new specialist doctor. So it is a follow-up, and this follow-up is going to be about the possibility of me having another procedure for me to get another pacemaker because of my G point didn't went well on the surgery, since I am still struggling a lot with the burping and everything like that. So I'm just waiting for the doctor to come into the room so we can talk about the pacemaker that I am possibly gonna be getting, or probably not. So I will see ya once the doctor, she is here in the room. So I'll see ya in a couple of minutes.
How are you?
Good evening.
Told me that he wanted to do the bypass.
Okay.
I don't know what happened after that. So
After that, I remember. The only thing I remember is that both times that we had the video call, it was because either he was out or you were out and you couldn't get in touch with him. And then I believe you had told me that one of the nurses was gonna reach out to me to reschedule.
Okay.
But
Nothing happened.
That never happened.
I see.
So me too. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait until they call me. Until I'm like, no, let me just give him a call.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask the office to schedule surgery.
Okay.
The only thing is, they may not cover it because it's an operation that's usually done for weight loss.
Okay.
And they might say, oh, well, we're not going to cover her for this weight loss surgery operation. But we're not doing it for weight loss. We're doing it for the reflux.
Yeah, the reflux. Yeah, because I've been noticing that last week I went to Vegas and everything, and the whole trip I was just burping like nonstop. So it's like it comes, but it's like it's just a burping, like, and then the acid, like I want to throw up again.
Okay.
So I'm like I really hope like it would have gone away by itself, but it really never did.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. Refresh my memory. What operation have you had for the reflux?
The only thing that so far I got done was the hernia repair, and for the hernia repair was the G point. That's it.
So the hernia repair and the G point. When they repaired the hernia, what operation did they do? Do you know? Was it a wrap?
I don't remember what it was. All I remember was because I was having, my stomach was getting bloated, and I was having that acid, and then whenever I would swallow the food, like it would get stuck here, so like it wouldn't go down.
I think they did the gastroparesis, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so what I will do is my office will have to coordinate with doctor's office, and the two of us will have to come up with a date that we can work together to do this. Okay. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, you had they did a procedure where they tack your stomach.
Yeah,
to your abdominal wall.
Yes.
He did a hiatal hernia repair and gastroparesis.
So with this surgery, the procedure and the thing I had in my, I was gonna ask you, what is the risk of it, or?
So I don't know if you remember. My concern for you is that you're going to lose a lot of weight.
Okay.
Because it's a weight loss operation, but it also has the side effects of fixing reflux. But you're not a big person. I'm just worried that you're going to lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since it's a pacemaker and everything, like, it's a pacemaker, right? Or what?
Well, I thought we were going to do the pacemaker, but that's why I wanted to talk to Dr. Roth.
Okay.
To see why he wanted you to have the bypass instead of the pacemaker. And he told me because you were having such bad reflux.
Yes.
So we can't do the pacemaker.
Because I know that we did the 4-hour test. So I really, it came out the result, but I really don't understand it.
Okay.
So I don't know, is it something about the percentage? So I'm like, is it going slow?
Let me see.
Or?
Let me see the results.
Because I remember the other 4-hour test, the ectomy, I know it was worse, but I don't know if this one got worse or.
Yeah, so your stomach is not emptying properly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why Dr. Crow wants to do the bypass.
As well, because you're having reflux and you have delayed gastric emptying. I'm gonna send you to see our dietitian.
Okay.
Because the diet is very different after this operation, after the bypass. Okay.
Okay.
And I want you to get some education about that.
Okay.
Okay.
And how long is like for the recovery and all that.
So you'll stay overnight. Well, so when I usually do it, you stay overnight. Since it's going to be a combination case between Dr. Groth and me, he might want to keep you a little bit longer.
Okay.
But normally it's an overnight stay, and recovery is about a week.
Okay.
Do you work outside the home?
No.
Okay.
I'm on disability, so I don't work.
Okay. Yeah. So I would expect about a week recovery, and you'll be on a liquid diet for about 2 weeks after surgery.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, we will get this scheduled now.
Good morning, guys. So today I do have an appointment with the nutrition doctor. So I am here in the lobby waiting to be called back to the room. So this appointment with my nutrition doctor is for her to let me know what I can eat after the bypass surgery. So I will see ya once I'm already in the room with the doctor.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I have looked at your chart. I know that you've talked with me a little bit about your history, what's been going on.
Okay, it's already gonna be a year ago that I ended up having a G-point surgery.
Okay.
But that surgery, it was supposed to fix like my burping, my bloating, and everything like that, correct? But after months of seeing it, I was just burping nonstop, so it wasn't really going away. So that's when he ended up recommending me, like with the doctor. So that's when we came with a solution. Like, she wanted to do a pacemaker, but doctor to do the bypass, because to be able to fix it, because I'm not digesting my food right. So I ended up getting a 4-hour testing, like about maybe like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. So the day that I came with the doctor, for a follow-up, she ended up telling me that the result came that I'm not digesting the food how it's supposed to.
So that was like the gastric emptying, it just kept staying in there, it wasn't being sent.
Yeah, because this is the second time I get it done. The first time was because I did have a hernia repair. So after my hernia repair, I started noticing like the bloating, the burping. That's the reason why they did the G-point to fix it, but it really didn't get fixed.
Now she's hoping to do the bypass, which will help with that.
Well, the doctor, she wanted to do the pacemaker.
She thought the pacemaker would be the best.
Yeah, because since I'm a petite, pretty much, she didn't want to do the bypass because I'm little and I'm going to lose a lot. But doctor, the one who wants to do the bypass, so they were supposed to, like,
talk about it.
But
and about how much water do you think you have for the whole day?
I take like 3 to 4 bottles of water.
Anything else that you might drink?
I have noticing, which I know is bad, because I would never drink that. But I noticed that here and there I've been drinking Pepsi. But I don't take it like every day or nothing. And probably I can drink half of the can, like maybe once every 2 months, 3 months. So it's just like whenever I have like that little craving. That's it.
And do you get the blood transfusions because of iron?
I get my blood transfusion because I don't produce blood, pretty much. Yeah, and then I take medication for the iron because of all the blood transfusion I get.
Because those were the ones, a couple of the ones of your blood work that were a little bit low were the ones related to iron. After surgery, at the end of most of these sections, I have a bullet point that's bolded, italicized, and it talks about what's different after surgery. So after surgery, the biggest portion will be protein. That's what we always want you to eat first. right after surgery, that might be the only thing you eat. That's okay, we expect that. The next thing we want you to eat is vegetable.
Okay.
And then if you can eat that and that's great. Eventually over time you might be able to add something else, and so we would want something to be fiber. It could be another vegetable, it could be a fruit, or it could be some kind of whole grain.
Okay.
But like I said, most of it's going to be protein. Because we have such an emphasis on protein, where we're using it, we have the goals. Your goal is going to be 60 to 80 grams each day. Right after surgery, you're going to be doing liquids. So it'll be the protein shakes. You can do yogurts as long as they don't have any chunks of fruit in them.
Okay.
So most of them are 30, some of them are 26. So if you're getting 2 protein shakes a day, you're kind of right where you need to be.
Okay.
Then eventually we'll start increasing the textures. About 3 weeks in, we do soft, so like a soft scrambled egg, and then we just keep working up the textures. After surgery, it's going to be a small amount of food, always.
Okay.
Second goal is hydration. You're already at that pretty much. Our goal is 64 ounces, which is about 4 bottles of water, the regular, this size.
Okay. Yeah, that's like
So
the
4
pretty
of
much
these.
is the ones I take.
Yeah.
Like.
So that's kind of what we're looking for. That with that, we want everything to be sugar-free as much as possible. They have so many little flavor packets that you can add if you want to do like a lemonade or a fruit punch. You can do that. You can do the Gatorade Zero, Powerade Zero.
Okay.
We've already talked about the caffeine, so just do decaffeinated coffees or teas.
Okay.
We don't recommend the energy drinks. And no
What
alcohol.
about since I do get on Starbucks like the chai latte, is that okay? Or
It has caffeine in it.
okay.
So if you wanted to do something from them, they don't do a lot of decaf, I can tell you.
Yeah.
If you like the coffee drinks, you can get some decaffeinated
Okay.
and do the iced coffees with decaffeinated.
Okay.
And then if you get that, definitely make sure it's the sugar-free syrups, the sugar substitutes, whatever it is. Do the low-fat milks, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So with meal planning, after surgery, we want you to eat something every 3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Because you can't eat very much at one time, we just want to make sure that we're giving your body everything that it needs.
Okay.
So, ideas for that: make your meal plan, go grocery shopping. I will point out that any of the fruits and vegetables will work. Fresh, canned, frozen, any of them are fine. Same for fruits, canned, appropriate.
Okay.
I do have a handout for restaurants. Mostly it's fast food places, but it's things that would be higher in protein, lower in carbohydrates and fats. And then kind of, as you're saying, if you're going to be out and about, we do want you to make sure you have something with you so that you're not in a panic. Like, it's been a while, I'm hungry, I need to have something. You can take the protein shakes with you. You can take yogurts with you, the little tuna packs.
Okay.
Those are pretty easy to carry with you, and they have a pretty good chunk of protein in there. Healthy behaviors, you're already doing this. We want you to eat slowly. Take your time. You're already used to that.
Yeah.
There is an app that you can use if you want to. It's called Berrytastic. It is made for people who've had bariatric surgery.
Oh, okay.
Your water for your protein, your vitamins, your meals. If you find that you're forgetting to eat, you can set that.
Okay.
Has a timer on it.
Like I can put it like for every 3-4 hours. So.
Yeah, for the meals, you absolutely can put that. You can do as many times as you want to. Set your goals. I set mine for protein and fiber.
And mine is gonna be mostly for protein, right?
Protein, I'll look at fiber as well.
Okay.
But you can set whatever you want to. If
Okay.
you want to look for, we don't really track carbs after surgery because our focus is protein.
Yeah, like
but
the main is gonna be protein and
mostly those
fiber.
are the two that you're
Okay.
looking at. So with the bypass, the surgeon will create a small stomach pouch from your existing stomach. So this might be where, because you're not interested in weight loss, she might be able to make it a little bit bigger. I don't know exactly, but no matter what, you're gonna have a very small stomach pouch.
okay.
The second thing she'll do is cut the small intestine, bring it up here to that small stomach pouch so that you're bypassing the majority of the stomach and the first part of the small intestine. So this is the part down here that's sending out acid. This is the part up here that's sending you messages telling you that you're hungry.
Okay.
So because you're not using that part of your stomach, you shouldn't have the issues with the reflux or the acid, but you may also not get the signal that you're hungry. That's why it becomes very important to set those timers for meals to remind yourself to eat.
Yeah.
The other thing, which you can't see very well in this picture, the sphincter that connects the stomach to the small intestine, it's right here. It lets the food go out very slowly into the small intestine, which is what I think is going to help with your
Burping.
keeping your stomach full.
Okay.
Because you don't have that, you're not using it, it's hidden behind that. There's nothing that holds your food into the stomach.
Okay.
You eat, if you drink, it's going to automatically stick it into the small intestine. But you should not have the issues with that feeling of fullness.
Okay.
Because there's nothing holding the food in the stomach. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, because we're not accessing this part of the small intestine, this is where we have a lot of nutrients being absorbed. We do recommend that you take the vitamins forever after life. I mean, for life after surgery, because you're not absorbing as much. One for after surgery, I kind of mentioned it, but if you eat and drink at the same time, whatever you eat and then you drink will push it into the small intestine. So we want to wait at least 30 minutes
to drink them.
And then you can start drinking again, which is why you can use the timer in the app. I finished eating, I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes.
To drink.
After that goes off, then you can start sipping on your fluids again.
Okay. So today it is the day that my doctor and we are going to discuss if I am going to be getting surgery or not. So I will see you once my doctor is in the room.
So I know you saw the lady surgeon who does bypasses and talking about doing that for your stomach. Are you still having a lot of trouble with the burping stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you've done about everything short of that. Okay, is that the plan to go forward with the bypass?
Yeah, that's what, because at first she was telling me whenever I went for the consult, she was telling me that she wanted to do the pacemaker. But then I guess she discussed it with you and you were like, the Gastroparesis, and then she's like, okay, and then I went again, and that's when she told me, she like, doctor, he said that it's rather to do the bypass than
the stimulator.
Yeah, that.
Whatever she thinks is best. She's the stimulator expert. So if she thinks she won't respond to it, it's the people who respond best to that are patients, especially like diabetics with the nausea, significant nausea component, as she probably mentioned. But I defer to her.
Yeah.
We fixed your hernia, so I'm not sure she's going to need. Usually, sometimes in these combined situations, she wants my help fixing a recurrent hernia, and then she just does the bypass. So I think you'll be okay with just her fixing the hernia. I'll send her a message too.
Okay, yeah, because she was like, she saw the results and everything, so she's like, yeah, she said we're gonna do the bypass instead. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Because even her, like, even whenever I was with her, she even heard me because I don't know where, like, I started burping. She like, that's what you're talking. I'm like, yeah, like, that's my thing every single day, like the burping and the acid and all that.
Yeah. Okay.
But so I'm like, I know we already tried everything.
We've tried everything.
Surgery after surgery, like, so yeah.
Does she have a date for you already?
I don't have a date with her yet because since my mom just had surgery, so I'm like, so I'm the one taking care of her. If we would have been together, it would have been
too much. Yeah,
because they told me I could have got it like October the 19th, but it's too soon. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just give my mom time, and then I schedule with them for the procedure. Okay? She had a hip replacement, so she barely had her surgery this Monday. So
she's still recovering. Yeah,
so she's recovering. They told her there was gonna be about 2 to 3 months for her to, I'm like, well, Mom, I'm gonna have to put my surgery on stop for you first. So after I'm gonna do mine.
Okay.
So yeah. So I do have 2 appointments right now through the video chat with 2 nurses. One is gonna be from 10:30 all the way to 11, and my second appointment is from 11 to 12. So one is with the pre-op, and the second appointment is with my nutrition. We are gonna be going over some stuff about food, nutrition, what I can eat and not what to eat, what kind of protein to be on and not be on. So I am gonna be bringing you along with me, so that way I can hear a little bit of my appointment meeting with the two nurses. So I am gonna try to record as much as I can. So let's get started.
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm waiting on two more to sign in, but I'm going to get started here shortly.
Okay.
Okay, everybody can see my screen?
Yes.
Today is kind of a combination of myself with Claire doing these pre-op classes for education, to kind of guide y'all with the before and after of having, surgery with our program. So it's a small group. Congratulations, means you've made it through the program for surgery. 2 weeks before your surgery, she gives you a specific diet that we call liver reduction diet. And then we continuously tell you to reach, fluid goals and stay hydrated, which is 48 to 64 ounces. Also, 2 days before surgery, you switch from that specific liver reduction diet to clear liquids. So remember, this is a surgery that involves your digestive system. So we want to start kind of clearing things out. And it's really important that you follow the recommendations. So 2 days before, you switch over to clear liquids. And then the night before and the morning of, you're given a little drink usually at that PAT appointment, the pre-anesthesia appointment. You're given these little bottles, usually 3, 15 ounces. So you drink 2 the night before and then nothing after midnight. And then the morning of, 3 hours before, you do your last one. And like I said, the nutrition part, Claire's going to go into deeper, on your appointment at 11 o'clock. And then 2 days before surgery, you stop vitamins and omega-3 fish oil. The night before surgery, you drink that carbohydrate-loaded drink that I said, the 2 bottles. You take any medicines that you're allowed to take, and then you do a pre-op shower. Same with the morning of. Little sip of water with any meds you're allowed to take. The last little drink 3 hours before, and then your pre-op shower. At that PAT appointment, you're given this bottle of Hibiclens, and this is to kind of help reduce the risk of infections, so it cleanses your body. It is from the neck down to your toes, but you want to primarily focus on your torso, abdominal area. But of course, it is from neck to toes. Avoid the head and face, avoid private areas, because it's a potent kind of skin cleanser. And then follow the instructions, like after you shower, put on clean clothes, lay in clean bed, things like that. And all this is just, to help prevent and reduce the risk of infections, after surgery with surgical incisions and stuff. And then in the OR, it's bright, it's cold, and anesthesia is usually good about, giving you some happy juice as you roll back and keep you comfortable. And then you're fast asleep because this is general surgery. So general anesthesia, you'll have the breathing tube in place. And then I added a few pictures here with the gastric bypass, for those having it, the sleeve, and then the sadie. Now, the sleeve, I always tell patients, you may notice that one of your incisions feels a little more, you'll feel a little more discomfort. You will feel more sensitive as it's healing, and a little more discomfort like tugging and pulling. So I would say, don't feel like something is wrong if that one particular incision feels a little more discomfort than your other incisions. That is normal. Number 1 is dehydration, and then blood clots, pneumonia, and infection. Now, dehydration can occur rather quickly because after surgery, your limitations, have decreased. So you can't sit down and drink really quickly all at once 8 ounces of fluid. You have to slowly, and it's very tedious at the beginning. So it's very small, like little medicine cup size drinks, and just kind of taking your time, letting things go down. And so if you sleep a long time during the day, you're cutting back on the time that you can be drinking and staying hydrated. So that's, there's a couple of things, or, it's maybe a little bothersome as fluid goes down. And so then you don't want to drink and you start getting dehydrated because you're getting behind on your fluids. We really, really encourage and remind you that you got to reach 48 ounces to 64, 48 to 64. At the beginning, that's why I say 48. Try to at least get 48, and then each day you should feel better and things improving, and then you should start reaching, the 60 or more ounces. The things you will feel is you're not going to be peeing enough if you're not drinking enough. Your urine's going to get dark, headache, dizziness, nausea increases. So make sure that you constantly have something with you, like if you leave, your home, that you have something with you, to keep hydrated and drinking. You need to notify us within a day or two that you're starting to get behind on your hydration. Now, for the first 2 weeks, you're on full liquid diet. So everything counts towards your liquids. I'm not just talking about water, your shakes, your yogurt, your soups. So make sure you keep tracking that you're reaching those goals. So number one priority after surgery is staying hydrated, keeping the fluids, drinking, sipping throughout the day. Make sure you're monitoring your urine color to make sure you're staying hydrated. And then blood clots. Staying hydrated also helps prevent blood clots. As soon as you're out of surgery, they start getting you up and walking around. So staying in bed all day is not good. Sitting all day is not good. You got to keep moving every 2 hours, walking around your home. Anybody else have questions?
Everything sounds good for me. So everything sounds perfect. So I'm already done with my first section of the video call with the nurse practitioner for the pre-op. She was giving us some heads up of all the stuff that we're going to be going through at the hospital, like the pre-op. So now that I am done with the first class, now I'm going to be logging into my second appointment, which is with the nutrition nurse. So I'm going to bring you along once again. So let's log in. Tengo sueño.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Hi. Good morning.
Hello. All right. Looks like our last participant is joining, so I assume she'll be here in just a minute. So I do want to start with the clear liquids. Most of you don't have to do the pre-op diet, so we're just going to go and jump right into clear liquids. So the goal of this is just to kind of clean out the bowel, get it ready for surgery. This is a very common pre-surgery recommendation. So for 48 hours or 2 days before your surgery, you will want to just do clear liquids. So we have the goal of 64 ounces. Remember, that's about 4 regular size bottles of water. I don't think any of you are on fluid restrictions, but if you are, then you follow that recommendation over what we say. So what can you have on the clear liquid diet? You can have any kind of fruit juice that does not have pulp to it, so like an apple juice, cranberry juice. You can do any of the low sugar drinks or diet drinks like lemonades. Fruit punches, you can do the flavored water, so if you want to put the Crystal Light packs or any of those water flavorings in there, you can do that. Please, no sparkling waters at this time. You can also do decaffeinated coffees or teas, either hot or cold. You can use sugar substitutes, but please no milk or cream or anything like that. And then you can do some sugar-free popsicles or jellos. You can do any kind of broth or bouillon that you like. If you feel like you're just starving and you want to do some kind of clear protein drink, you can do that as well. The one that you'll probably find the easiest is the Protein 2O. You can find those at the grocery stores. They're clear. They're usually fruity flavors. You can do something like that. Gatorade Zero does make a protein drink, but I've only seen it in the store a couple of times. I pulled this picture off of Amazon. You could also do like a clear protein powder. Seek is one of the brands. and I have seen the Seek products at Target. There are also other options for clear proteins. There's so many options for proteins these days. A ready-to-drink one is this Rise brand clear protein. Again, they're usually more of a fruity flavor. This one was purchased from H-E-B. There's lots of options for those clear proteins. You don't have to do them, but if you want to, if you like those better, you know, even after surgery, if you don't like the milky proteins, you can do the clear protein shakes as well. I would say just be careful, because I have seen some of the clear proteins that are also carbonated or sparkling, so don't do those. All right. Anybody have questions on clear liquids? All right. When do you start clear liquids?
48 hours before the surgery.
48 hours before. So if your surgery's on a Monday, you would do it all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and then Monday would be your surgery, however that works for you. All right, true and false. These beverages are allowed on the clear liquid. Broth.
True.
True.
Okay. Gatorade Zero.
True.
True.
Yep. Milk.
False.
Nope. Protein water.
True.
True. As long as they're not carbonated.
As long as they're not carbonated. You guys got it. All right, so let's move on to the carb loading drink. You should have 2 appointments with pre-anesthesia. One of them will be a phone call. The second one, you'll go in person. When you go in person, they should give you 3 of these pre-surgery drinks. So we know that carbohydrates help your body recover better after surgery. So we're going to load you up with carbohydrates the night before your surgery. So you'll drink 2 of those bottles before midnight, the night before. If you lose them, you didn't get them, you don't like them, you're allergic to strawberry, you can do 30 ounces of regular apple juice. And then the morning of your surgery, there's some debate. We've been told 1 hour, we've been told 3 hours, but between that 1 to 3 hour time frame, drink that last bottle. So maybe you're on your way to the hospital and you're drinking that clear protein, that clear carbohydrate drink then, or you can drink it when you get there. You drink it kind of fast. So morning of your surgery, 1 to 3 hours before, you'll drink that last bottle. I know you guys have had the vitamin and mineral class. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it, except to say, remember your decisions, bariatric specific or over the counter, either one is fine. If you do the over the counter supplement, then you'll also probably need extra vitamin D and extra B12. Most of the bariatrics are 1 a day, and that's it. And then the second decision you have to make is, what does the vitamin look like? Are you going to do a chewable, like a hard crunchy one, kind of like a Flintstone vitamin? Usually they're like fruity flavors. Are you going to do a liquid? Are you going to do a capsule? Are you going to do a chewy, kind of like the size and texture of a Starburst? They do have some that are melts. They have some powders. I just want to go back to the capsule. If you are going to do the capsule, we ask that for the first 2 to 3 months, you open it up, mix it up with a little bit of yogurt or applesauce. Eventually, when your stomach has healed, you'll be able to take the capsule normally, and you don't have to open it. But right at first, open it up, help your body out a little bit. No tablets. Those are just too big. The stomach can't break those down. You're not going to have a good absorption of those vitamins from the tablets. All the other options are great. The other option I would say don't do is the gummies. The gummies could potentially get stuck, and they for sure don't have enough of the vitamins in them. So anything. It doesn't matter what you buy, as long as it says bariatric on it, it will have the amounts that you need. Okay. So you really just have to find out what your body will tolerate. So the 2 things that I need you to take, the multivitamin, you'll start taking that 1 week after your surgery. So again, if your surgery is on a Monday, the next Monday you would start the multivitamin. You can decide whether or not it has iron. You need iron. So if it has the iron in there, then you can
one thing and you're done. Otherwise, you have to take iron separately. And then the second thing you'll take is the calcium. You will start taking the calcium 1 month after surgery. So you have a little bit of time to get into the habit of the multivitamin. For the calcium, the best form is the calcium citrate. The amount that you need each day is between 1,200 and 1,500. But the body can only absorb 500 to 600 milligrams at one time. So that means you'll need to take more than one calcium supplement. So most of the ones are 500. This is the Celebrate 500 chewable, hard, crunchy, bariatric advantage. Their calcium citrate is the Chewy Bite. It's also 500. So if you have a 500, you'll need 3 of those every day. Like I said, that Shiny Leaf is a dissolve or a melt tab, and it is 600. So you'd only need 2.
Okay.
So again, if you're interested in that, kind of keep checking their website and see when they have it posted again. And then this is the information for iron. If you want to take iron separately, then this is what you'd be looking for.
But it's much better to have it together, right, with the other vitamin, the iron one?
You can take it together, absolutely. It's just one less thing you have to remember to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is what your schedule could look like. You might take your bariatric multivitamin in the morning. You would wait 2 hours and take your calcium, because if you take your multivitamin with iron and calcium at the same time, they'll compete for absorption, so they have to be taken apart. And you have to separate the calcium as well. So you take one calcium, you wait 2 hours, take calcium, wait 2 hours, take calcium. And then how many calcium supplements will you need each day?
We probably gonna have to repeat it because I didn't forgot my mind.
You said 500, right? 5 to 6, I believe.
Usually they're 500, like in the supplement. They could be 500 or 600 in the supplement.
Okay.
So 500 or 600.
But you say 2.
So the amount, if you find the 600, then you need 2. If it's a 500, you'll need 3.
3, okay.
Yeah. So it will kind of depend on what calcium you find.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about stages of the diet after surgery. So just kind of a review. Sleeve, the surgeon takes off 75 to 85% of the stomach. They do completely take that stomach out. So you're left with the small, narrow stomach sleeve. And then, because you don't have access to this part of the stomach, you're not getting the messages telling you that you're hungry. So you're going to have to put yourself on a schedule. Remind yourself to eat, because you're not going to feel hungry. You want to make sure you're eating every 3 to 4 hours. With the bypass, very similar. The surgeon will create a small stomach pouch from your existing stomach. Then the surgeon will cut the small intestine, bring it up to that small stomach pouch, and then you're bypassing or not using the majority of the stomach and the first part of the small intestine.
Okay.
So same things here, small space, but you're also not getting the messages from your stomach telling you that you're hungry and that you need to eat. So again, important to eat protein every 3 to 4 hours. Your goal for fluid, the 48 to 64 ounces, and you will have your goal for protein, the 60 to 80 grams. But for these first 2 weeks, you're just kind of sipping on fluids, sipping on your protein shakes kind of all day long to try to meet your goals. You don't have to worry about keeping them separated. So for the first 2 weeks, if you can drink 2 bottles of water and then 2 protein shakes, then you'll be doing enough for your fluid and for your protein. If you can drink more water, that's fine as well. But you're just kind of constantly sipping between the 2, making sure that you can reach your goals. It may take you several days to get up to the goals, but you're working towards it every day. Try to keep as hydrated as you can. If you start to become dehydrated, your stomach starts to get a little bit crazy. And then when you try to drink your protein, it doesn't stay down because your stomach is kind of dehydrated. So stay hydrated, and then you can take your protein shakes. If you start feeling like you're not meeting your goals, let us know as soon as possible so that we can tell you, oh, you're still doing fine, you're getting in enough, or we might say, let's figure out what we're going to do to help you get in some more hydration.
So 2 weeks, you're on stage 2. When you've been cleared by the surgeon or by Mariset, then you can move on into stage 3. These are soft foods. So now when we get to stage 3, we want to keep eating and drinking separated. So now you have your goal for fluid, you have the goal for protein, but keep them apart. You should be at this point eating 4 or 5 times a day. We want those eating occasions to be 20 or 30 minutes. Then you wait 30 minutes, and then you can start sipping on your fluids again. So we want to have specific eating times. How many? It depends on what time you wake up and what time you go to bed. But just try to be eating some kind of protein every 3 to 4 hours. Right after surgery, it will be small amounts of things. People will tell me, oh, I made an egg and I could only eat half of it. That's fine. That's to be expected. That's okay. You're going to eat again in a couple of hours. You're going to keep giving your body the protein all throughout the day. One specific concern we might see is called dumping syndrome. Most often we see this with bypass, but we can see it with a sleeve. If you eat something that's very high in sugar or high in fat, the stomach doesn't like it, and it doesn't really know what to do with it, so it just dumps it into the small intestine. But it's not supposed to be in the small intestine like that, and so the small intestine tries to flush it out. So the symptoms that you might see, sweating, vomiting, could be also diarrhea, some of those kinds of issues. That's called early dumping, soon after you eat, an hour or so after you eat. There is also the potential for late dumping. So what happens with that is the body gets the message that there's food in the small intestine, so the body releases insulin, but by the time the insulin gets there, the food is all gone, so the insulin picks up whatever glucose it can find, and now you're in a state of hypoglycemia, low blood sugar. So you may feel very tired and fatigued. So this is a couple of hours after eating. If you find that this is happening, then you want to replace the carbohydrate and the protein. So if you have a...
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have made it this far into this video, thank you so much. I know this video, it is a little bit long, but I did wanted to bring you along with me to my previous doctor's appointment that I had few months ago, which was last year. So I didn't want these clips to go to waste because I knew I was gonna end up using them. So I have been receiving a lot of comments on my 2 last surgery procedure video, which is the hernia repair and the G-point surgery. So I have been receiving comments about how I'm doing, is everything still going good, if anything changed, if I'm still having problems, and so. Well, here it goes. I am still having the same problem. The only thing that really went away is the bloating. I still get it here and there, but not as much as I used to back then. So the only thing that hasn't gone away and that I am still struggling with a lot, as you already got to see throughout the video, it is the burping and the acid reflux. Those are the 2 things that I am still struggling after my 2 previous procedures, from the hernia repair and the G-point. So that's the only thing I am struggling with. But besides everything else from those 2 surgeries, I recovered really good. But that's the only thing that I am still struggling with, just the ugly of the burping and the acid reflux that I cannot even stand, because each time I drink anything or I'm laying down, it just comes all the way up towards my throat, And the burping, I just hate it because I feel so embarrassed whenever I burp in front of people. So that's pretty much the update of that for those who has been commenting on those two videos of how I'm doing. As y'all already read by the title of the video, I was diagnosed with gastroparesis. Hopefully I'm saying it right. If not, I'm gonna put it right here. And I also gonna put right here the meaning of the diagnosis that I have. So I was diagnosed with the gastroparesis because of my acid reflux and my burping that will cause me having gastroparesis. So the one who ended up telling me about my gastroparesis was both of my doctors. If you have or you haven't keep up with me on my previous post-op follow-up appointments from my surgery, on my last blog that I recorded my post-op, my doctor did ended up telling me about the gastroparesis, but she wasn't sure if I had it or not until barely she ended up telling me that yes, I do have gastroparesis, and that's the main thing that is causing my acid reflux and my burping. So my pediatric doctor, once again, I know I'm not probably saying it right. I do have a hard time pronouncing words, but I am gonna be putting it right here. My pediatric doctor, she did wanted to do a pacemaker, just like you heard in the beginning of the video. I was gonna get a pacemaker, but I am no longer gonna get it, and I am gonna be showing you a picture of the pacemaker. So this is the pacemaker right here, if y'all can see it, and it's in the stomach, but I am gonna be putting a better picture right here along with the meaning of the pacemaker right here. But I am gonna try and read it. Due to when I was little, I did have a clip palate, so that's why I struggle a lot to pronounce some words and read full sentences. So I'm gonna try my best. A small medical device called a neurostimulator is implanted under the skin, under the lower abdominal region. Two installed wires called leads are implanted in the stomach wall muscle and then connected to the neurostimulator. So my pediatric doctor wanted to do the pacemaker, which that's what it is, a pacemaker. But whenever she got in contact with my doctor who did my hernia repair and my G-point, they both came to a conclusion that the pacemaker wasn't probably gonna be the best idea, because she wanted to do the pacemaker, but my doctor who did both of the other surgeries, he wanted to do, and here it is. I am gonna be getting another procedure, as you already got to hear through one of my doctor visits. So the procedure that I am gonna be getting is a bypass surgery. So my doctor who did the hernia repair and the G-point procedure, he wants to do the bypass because for him it's a better option for me for my acid reflux and the burping because of my gastroparesis. So both of them doctor talk it out, and the best solution is a bypass surgery. So that's what I am gonna be getting pretty soon, this month of April. So I'm gonna be getting another surgery. And am I scared? No. Am I tired of having procedures back to back to back to back? Yes. But is it the best for me? Probably, since I have been going through a lot of surgeries through my whole life. But that's my life, and if they had to be doing one surgery and another procedure back to back to back to make me feel well, then I'm all for it, as long everything comes out good, better, and better for myself as well. But I was supposed to get this bypass surgery back around October through December, but the reason I didn't get it was because my mom was gonna go through a hip replacement surgery. So her and I both with surgery done, because who was gonna take care of who. So I had to postpone my surgery. So finally I'm only a few days away from my procedure. So I'm ready for it, because I hope this procedure really makes my burping and my acid reflux go away, which I know that this bypass surgery, it is for weight loss, but for me, I'm not getting it for weight loss. I'm getting it because the struggle of the acid reflux and the burping, that's the main thing I'm getting it for. Even though I have been gaining weight, because here it goes again, the reason why I am getting a bypass. So for those who has been keeping up with me, hasn't, so after I had my two surgeries, the G-point and the hernia repair, I did had 2 4-hour gastroenterostomy testing. So the first one came back to my food digesting it really slow, only 10% of it. So that's the reason why I got a G-point, because I wasn't digesting my food right. It wasn't going down how it should. So after I had the G-point, that's whenever I started struggling a lot still with the burping and the acid reflux. So fast forward, I got another 4-hour enterostomy testing. So the second result came back and still the same, but this one is worse. The other one was only 10% the food being digested, but now this one is worse because it's digesting really slow, out of the normal. So that's the reason why I've been gaining weight, because I don't digest my food right, and it's taking so much to go down. I've been eating way too much and I don't get full. So I do weigh 123, and since I am a petite, I am a small person, my height it is 4'7". So because I am a small person, I should weigh around 100 to 115, the minimum. Since I am digesting the food slowly, it's making me eat a lot, like non-stop. I don't get full. I can eat every 30 minutes, or if I eat right now, let's say I eat right now at 1:35, I want to eat again in the next 30 minutes. So it's like, you know, So I've been noticing that as well, and that's what I told my doctor, that I've been eating a lot. So that's what both of them, that's what both of them told me, that because I'm not digesting my food down right, that's the reason why I am eating a lot. So that's why they both decided that the best is the gastric bypass. Also, I know y'all got to hear a lot about my nutrition along with practitioner appointment that I had with them on video chat, but they did ended up going with me about supplements, proteins, the food that I'm gonna have to be on few weeks after surgery. So I know I'm gonna be on clear liquid, then food liquid, and solid. But if y'all had the gastric bypass, comment down below what would y'all recommend for me. I know my doctor gave me a lot of information, but I want to hear from y'all as well. What works best for y'all? Like, what kind of food didn't make y'all throw up? What makes your stomach happy? What kind of protein was good? What kind of clear liquid protein drinks? Anything that make y'all feel better throughout your bypass recovering, because I know that after I had my bypass surgery, my metabolism is gonna be way different, since my doctor ended up telling me that I'm gonna be eating less because the stomach is gonna be smaller than what it is now. I'm gonna be putting a picture right here and right here of the bypass, and also the description of what the gastric bypass is, for those who may or may not know. Because for me, I have heard of it, like just like I said, I know it's for weight loss, but I'm not having mine for weight loss. I'm having mine because of my acid reflux. That's everything of the update. This will be the end of the video. The next video will be my bypass surgery vlog, so stay tuned for that one. I'm gonna record as much as I can, because I know there's some hospitals they don't let you record because of the privacy and everything like that. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all on my next video. Bye.